Hello, sir.
Dee, how are you?
Pretty good. How are you?
Can you believe it's been 2 weeks since I did that show driving here in Pennsylvania? Where does the time go, Dee? Do you know?
No, I don't. Do you?
No, I don't. That's why I'm asking.
I hear you enjoyed your Thanksgiving.
It was good. It was good hanging out with Sister Diane, brother-in-law Jim, and then some of his sister and her husband. It was all good. We had a good time.
Cool.
And I can't believe I've been here in Pennsylvania 2 weeks. Like I said, just don't know. But
How was the basketball game tonight?
it was good. Slippery Rock, my dad's alma mater. We went up there. It's like 20 minutes away. They had them beaten the first half, and then the other team got it cut down to like 4 points, and then Slippery Rock turned it on at the end and maybe won by 12.
Wow.
So the team we were rooting for was good. I love the atmosphere. I love the college, university, atmosphere with the everybody showing going to the game and students walking around campus and all that stuff. I love that environment. Even though I hated my personal college experience 30 years ago. But yeah, it's good. What's been up with you?
Not a lot. Just got cold here very, very quickly. Like the past week, it's been so cold I can't even sit outside to smoke a cigarette. So,
well, you can always stop smoking.
oh, that'd make everyone happy, though.
Yeah, Dee, you certainly don't want to be a people pleaser.
There's your angelic light again coming down. I see.
Yes, we need a little like music. We need music in the background, like something you might get out of like the 10 Commandments or something. Yeah, it is weird. But yeah, it's chilly here. When my dad and I left to go to the game, it was like 29 degrees, and when we got home, it was 15 out there. So yeah, chilly.
Well, we got snow in Oklahoma last night. Parts of us did. Like Murray County got snowfall that actually accumulated. Lake Murray, which is south of me, which that's north of me. South of me got snowfall. We just didn't get snow and sleet here. Like it missed us. It went around.
Wow. Okay.
So that's how cold it's been.
Yeah. We have snow. There's snow out there right now. It's been cold enough that it's thick. It's still out there. The roads are clear and everything, but the grass and everything, people's roofs are all covered. Probably got between 2 and 4 inches. Forget what day that was a couple days ago, and it's still here. We got some snow earlier when I got here, but it didn't stick. It just got too warm. It got up into like the low 40s, so it all melted. This stuff is sticking around. So
I don't do the cold.
Me neither.
I need like South Texas, Florida, the south part of the United States.
And I'm planning to go back next week. So there you go.
Where I need to be.
Uh-huh. You might be interested to know.
When are you going back home?
Sometime next week. My dad, he's fine except for his troubles getting around. His mind's fine. He gets down sometimes and things like that, but there's nothing I can do about any of that. So I'm going to be getting through insurance policy we're going to be getting some help in like maybe 3 days a week. Somebody maybe go shopping for him because he just can't go walk around a grocery store anymore. That's crazy. So, and things like that, maybe 3 days a week, and he'll have to figure out everything out for himself. That's what's going on. So.
And I said, no true crime trivia this week, and you kind of freaked out on me. You're like, what?
Given my history, I do better at general trivia. So maybe I shouldn't have been freaked out. Maybe I overreacted. Although this week I've been watching, when I'm here, I watch Jeopardy with my dad every night. I've been having a pretty good Jeopardy week. So.
Oh. See, my mom used to love Jeopardy.
Mm-hmm.
Hers was Jeopardy. My dad's was Wheel of Fortune.
My dad watches both of them. And then you add in Family Feud. And then in the mornings you add in Let's Make a Deal and Price is Right. My dad takes in a lot of game shows. Lot. But you might be interested to know, speaking of trivia, last night, the new team that I'm playing with, one of the sections of the trivia last night, the answer was Oklahoma.
Oh. What was the question?
Well, it was, I don't know, but it's called the Where I Am I section. So what it does is they'll give you like a clue, and if you answer it within 2 minutes, you get 10 points. And then they'll give you another clue, and if you answer that, you'll only get 7 points. So the more clues you get, the fewer points you get. And they only got 2 points. But they said the clues were, she didn't tell me what they were. She said they were fairly obscure cute clues, as it usually is. So I'm not sure what the hints were. I don't know. But it ended up being Oklahoma, which is weird because just a few weeks ago when I was still there, the final question had to do with Oklahoma as well. So.
Oh, maybe that's a sign.
I don't think the woman that runs it's from Oklahoma, so I don't know where that's all coming from. I don't know. How was your Thanksgiving? What'd you do?
Well, I cooked.
You did.
And now I'm cleaning out the refrigerator to throw it all away. Everyone came. Everyone ate. I hid as much as I could outside because I like people, but I don't like being in close proximity of other people.
I know the feeling.
I mean, ever since COVID, I got, with having the autoimmune diseases and stuff, I got where it's like, well, guess what? Her and her son are both sick.
Wow.
And I'm like, I'm the smart one. I get outside.
How many people were there? How many people were there?
I think she had like several of her nephews and a niece over.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe.
What did you cook? What'd you make?
We had ham. We had turkey. I made my homemade green bean casserole and my homemade stuffing, which people think's weird because I put apple and celery in it and onion. But everyone likes it, so can't be that weird.
I'm not usually a big apple guy, but if it's mixed in with stuffing and everything, I probably eat it.
See, my dad wasn't a big celery guy, and he's the one that came up with the idea because he doesn't like celery. He didn't like the texture or the taste. Which to me, I can't really tell a difference when they're cooked and the texture, but taste I can.
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
I didn't put my mic in.
Maybe you saw my post about me and my dad going to Ponderosa yesterday.
Uh-huh.
And they had stuffing there, and it was on the buffet thing that they have, and it was excellent. So I'm a big stuffing fan. So probably whatever you make, I'd probably like too.
So you like stuffing? Interesting.
I do. That's the best part of the Thanksgiving meal, though. The funny part is that my sister didn't make any.
Surprise!
No. I'm not here to judge. I didn't do the cooking. It was what they did was perfectly fine. It was very good. But I thought I was going to get my stuffing Jones fixed on Thanksgiving, but I had to wait like a week to get it done at Ponderosa of all places.
So was that pork tenderloin or beef tenderloin that you had?
I think it was pork tenderloin.
Okay. Had asked because there's a difference and
Yeah.
people don't
I
realize that.
pork pie.
You can get beef tenderloin.
I'm pretty sure that it was pork. Pretty sure.
So when you
And
said tenderloin, I was like, was it pork or beef?
I think it was pork. And because as the saying goes, is as Samuel L. Jackson said, I think in Pulp Fiction, I dig on swine. So I do eat swine. I do eat pig.
Oh, so do I.
Yeah.
Well, we talked that one time about, I was cooking those pork chops for dinner before the show.
Yeah.
So we all eat it. I have to watch how much I eat of it. Like I can't eat like used to. I love like the pork roast. For some reason, I don't know if it's the high fat content or what, but it gives me heartburn nowadays. So I have to watch how much I eat because otherwise I'll be sick.
Yep, our bodies change. Even I know with myself, can't eat things that I used to. Just
No, but you sure try, don't you?
I just sure do. I sure do. Even with chicken wings, I noticed that I don't make them as often, even though I love them and everything else. But sometimes doesn't make me later. It doesn't make me feel very good. So the line has to be drawn. So I only do the wings like once a month. Whereas when I started doing that, maybe I was doing them like twice a week. Twice a week or something. It was getting a little crazy. So that can get expensive too.
But you were also cutting out the pizza, weren't you, with it?
I did, yes, right. And I'm eating pizza again, so it's kind of neither. I shouldn't be eating either of them, but
we just went and got pizza for dinner for him and Nicholas, and he asked me what I wanted because we've learned that for some reason pizza messes with my stomach. I don't know if it's the grease or what, the cheese.
It could be a gluten sensitivity, big time.
Well, I try to stay away from cheese here as of late, and it seems like it doesn't mess with it as much with the Crohn's. But like he asked me what I wanted, so I was like, well, I want to try the new. Well, I love the rodeo burger. I was like, I'll take a rodeo burger, and they have the SpongeBob burger and the Krabby.
Where is the? What is this place?
Burger King. Krabby.
Oh, what do I know? Okay.
Krabby cheesy bacon tots.
I don't do tater tots. I don't do tots. But
I like the ones that you can get like at the convenience stores here.
Okay.
And I thought that's what it would be like. Very, very sadly disappointed.
Well, the thing about pizza is the reason I stopped eating it for a long time. The thing is, pizza, even though everybody loves it and everything, it combines all the things that if you have digestive issues or, IBS or you have FODMAP issues, all those things, those are all initials for things and problems. The pizza brings it all out because you got the bread, which, once again, if you have gluten issues, of course, you have the sauce that, the spices and everything. If, in interactive bowel, whatever, overactive bowel syndrome or whatever it's called. And then you have the cheese, which you could be at lactose intolerant. It combines all of it.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to be careful. Or we could just eat tofu for the rest of our lives.
Ugh.
What are we doing tonight, Dee?
We are going to be doing trivia.
All right. I'll give it my best shot. We'll do this for like about an hour or something. Let's get it done.
Okay, so we're going to start out with movie.
With our talking tonight.
Movies, TV, and TV.
All right.
Who played Marty McFly in Back to the Future?
Michael J. Fox. I was just watching that. Last night I was just watching part 2 of that while I was doing my singing practice.
One of my favorite actors.
Is he?
Yes, always has been.
Okay. Okay.
Like I remember him from back whenever I was a kid, and I used to watch him with the two sisters. You had the ditzy brunette and the smart blonde.
Yeah. What was that show called?
The Keatons. What
Huh?
the
Keatons. What was it
Keatons?
called?
The
It
Keatons.
wasn't called the Keatons.
Was it not?
No.
Who's blowing me up?
Not that I want to say the facts of life, but that's not it either. Growing pains. No, not
No.
growing pains.
I know their names were the Keatons.
Yeah, it wasn't the Keatons. Oh my
Mm.
goodness, can't remember now. Is that horrible? We must be getting old or something. I'm gonna look that up real quick. What is the name of that TV show? Michael J. Fox. Family Ties.
Okay. You
Family,
win. You win that one.
Family Ties. Yes, I have to admit though that was not a show that I really watched that much. Like Growing Pains, didn't really watch that, that much either. I was more of a Cheers guy, Married with Children guy. I like the things those things, this shows just weren't on the edge enough.
Yeah. Well,
Mhm.
I grew up in the 80s.
Well, so did I. But you're
I'm
a
also
bit,
female, so I mean,
yeah.
there might be some of that too.
And how much younger are you than I am?
I'll be 45 next
All
week.
right, so that has something to do with it as well. I'm 10 years older than you, so
Yeah.
there's that. Okay.
What year did Fresh Prince of Bel Air premiere?
Never watched it. 1988.
1990.
Wow. Okay. I was gonna say it was. I know it was on when I was in college. So, and once again, a bunch of my friends watched it. Never watched it.
Who starred in Forrest Gump?
Oh, come on, Tom Hanks or Gary Sinise, or quite a few different characters in that movie.
Tom Hanks.
Robin. Yeah, Tom Hanks. Mm.
What TV show featured Mulder and Scully
Oh my.
was it Intergalaxy Paranormal Cases?
The X-Files. I have a picture. Go into my condo in Florida. You open up the front door. The first picture you see is a signed picture of Dave Duchovny and Gillian Anderson from
Oh
the
wow.
X. Yep.
One of my friends who passed away in 2001. Yeah, 2001. Um, as a kid, used to wear clothes that looked like the guy from X Files.
I mean, he used to dress like Dave Duchovny, like Fox Mulder,
Yes.
he always wore suits and ties and stuff.
Yeah. That's how he dressed to even go to school, including the trench coats.
Man, I bet he got beat up.
He was actually one of the popular kids.
Oh, was he? Okay. That's weird. Okay.
He was one of the smart popular kids, not the sports kid.
I never did anything like that. But I was a big fan from when it started. It must have been 1993, I think. And I remember when it was started on Friday nights, and then they moved it to Sunday nights. And big fan. Saw the movies were not that good, but the TV show was good. And then once Fox, they started having a relationship, it kind of went bad, as it usually happens.
Yeah.
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 I like the tension between them, and once they did that. And then of course they brought in main characters and other main characters, and that was kind of done.
So here's one. These are all TV shows, which you're pretty good at, it seems like.
Okay.
Which actress played Rachel Green on Friends?
Oh my goodness. One of my favorites, D. You know this. You know this. We're friends. We're friends on
Yeah, we're friends.
Jennifer Aniston, of course,
Uh-huh.
who
What?
is like a year and a half older than I am. She was born in February of 1969. And she has to break my heart by now dating a hypnotist of all people. I mean, he's like the worst take. I don't mind Brad Pitt. Seems like a good guy. Of course, he cheated on her and everything, but her taste in men is questionable. Just like her taste in men on the Friends was questionable.
Well,
You know, crazy.
were they though?
Huh?
He's a doctor. I said, were they though? He was a doctor that she settled down with, not the actor.
Yeah, well, she married him. He cheated on her. Then she was with Justin Theroux, who's like a director, writer guy. They
Mm-hmm.
got divorced, and now she's with this hypnotist guy.
Oh, wow.
Jennifer, call me.
Jennifer, Ed's looking.
Yeah.
Which movie featured the line, "Nobody puts baby in a corner"?
Dirty Dancing. I've seen that movie once. You're probably a little, that movie came out when you were like 7 years old or something. You just don't even know
But I
how,
do.
how crazy teenage girls went for that movie back at that time.
I couldn't believe it because even the kids my age, whenever I when I started over at Davis, they all had a thing for that movie. Not so much in Springer school system, but at the Davis school system.
Yeah.
Like, all the girls were in love with that movie. Just like, okay.
I've seen it once, and it was certainly after high school. That was the way I remember it. It was one of those things that, I never really had any girlfriends or anything in high school. So, but it was one of those things where if you were dating, girl, that was like you had to go with her to that movie. If you were a guy, 16, 17, 18 years old,
That
you had
was the thing to do,
to go.
huh?
Yeah. Once again explains why I never had any girlfriends in high school.
Well, my older sister used to compare me to Baby. She used to say I looked like her because I had the darker hair tone than she did, or the dark hair tone like her and everything.
Jennifer Grey.
Yep.
And it's the wildest, one of the weirdest things in entertainment, because she got a nose job done and she's totally unrecognizable.
Oh yeah, but the nose job was because didn't her and her boyfriend have a wreck overseas somewhere?
Yeah, Matthew Broderick. I don't think it was because of that. I don't think so. I think she got it done by choice, and then suddenly nobody recognized her, and her career went like done. You think about it. She was in Red Dawn. She was in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, which she was dating Matthew Broderick, I think, at that time. She was in Dirty Dancing. She was pretty. She and like Ali Sheedy, and of course the girl or young woman who was in The Breakfast Club and 16 Candles, whatever her name was. I mean, they were all pretty in-demand actresses in the 1980s, and then Jennifer Grey got a nose job and nobody recognized her. And in fact, even when she was in Friends, speaking of Rachel Green, and she played Rachel Green's best friend from before Rachel became part of the Friends gang, and most people don't even realize that's Jennifer Grey, who was the actress who played that part. You look at her, and it's like you don't even recognize her.
I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch all the
Yes,
Friends episodes.
Yeah, what happened was that they were friends, and then it turns out, if you remember the beginning of Friends, it starts with Rachel Green. She was going to get married, and then she ran out. Something happened, and she didn't get married to Barry. And it turns out she found out that Barry was cheating on her, and she was cheating with Rachel's best friend, played by Jennifer Grey.
Okay.
Yeah, and so she's in multiple episodes, maybe 3 or 4 episodes, but you don't even recognize her. It's really weird. It's so weird. Whereas, on the other hand, I have an ex-girlfriend who had a nose job. I did not know her before it, but she had a nose job done, and you can tell it's still her. Before the nose job, after the nose job. Jennifer Grey, it's like she's a totally different person. See, I'm all full. CD, I'm full of useless knowledge. You don't even know. I have all this important information about disappearances in my head, but when it comes to stuff like this, I could just go on and on and on with useless facts.
Oh, here's one for you. Who voiced Genie in Disney's Aladdin, the 1992 version?
Oh, Robin Williams.
Yes.
Once again, this is one of those movies I think I've only seen once. And weirdly enough, that also came out when I was in college. And I can remember all of my college guy friends like going to see that. I was like, you guys are crazy. They were also, I had a bunch of my friends who were also nuts for the Little Mermaid movie. What is this? Who are my friends? Who are these people? Yeah, Robin Williams.
Yes, Robin Williams was one of my favorite actors, so.
Yeah, very sad what happened to him.
But they always say the funniest are the ones who are more apt to do something like what he did.
Yeah, well, of course, it didn't help that he had been diagnosed with Lewy body dementia, and he started looking at who he was going to become in the future and wasn't going to be able to do what he was doing.
Yeah.
It's tough, especially for a person like that.
But I have an uncle that everyone in the family used to compare and say looked like him, and he wound up with, he was the youngest uncle, oh no, the oldest uncle, with bone cancer in his elbow.
Oh my goodness.
Went and had it treated, got rid of it. It was doing great. Got it right back.
Wow.
I think, but it was like 5 years apart. It wasn't immediate, like my friend Christine, who passed away from cancer. It was separated, and he said he wasn't going to fight it. The last time he got it, he was like, that was just too much the first time. I'm not doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Not going through treatment. And I was like, I respect that.
Yeah.
I much do respect that.
Huh. Yep.
Which sitcom featured Tim the Toolman Taylor?
Home Improvement. Once again, this is not a show that I maybe watched some episodes, but not very many.
You mean you didn't like the guy who looked over the fence?
Well, you've known me for a little while, but we've never met in person, D, and I'm not really a guy that, is a big tool guy. I'm not cruising over to Home Depot or True Value Hardware to check out, what kind of drill I want to buy and everything. That is not. I'm decent with. I had a job in Vegas where I had to tear apart printers and fax machines and find out what was wrong with them and put them back together. But that was just like a Phillips screwdriver and a couple things. But when it gets down to those serious tools like band saws and stuff like that, I'm like, I got nothing at all, zero. So when it comes to home improvement and You know, Tool show. It just was never going to get my attention. But yep, I remember it. And I'm not really a Tim Allen fan or, so.
Yeah. Well, with his past, I can understand why.
He was in
Yeah.
drug and stuff. I just really doesn't. I'm not really.
To me, it was more the alcohol that I remembered mostly from him was, he was a bad alcoholic. I remember them coming out with that before the show was ever off air.
I don't know. He had a cocaine trafficking conviction from
Oh,
the early 80s. Yeah, Tim Allen. Yeah.
kind
He
of
went,
reminds me of 2.5 Men guy.
yeah, Charlie Sheen. Yeah, but I don't think he was doing any trafficking. This was Tim Allen actually, not doing drugs, but actually trafficking in them and smuggling them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Mm,
But once again, his stand up is really just like his home improvement, being a man,
yeah.
or I'm just, it's not it. I'm just not like that.
Okay, so here's one that you'll probably know that I didn't know until after I read it 3 different times and then understood what they were asking.
Okay.
Which actor starred as Neo, Neo, in The Matrix?
Oh my goodness. I can see her. Oh my goodness. What is her name? I'm gonna have to go through the alphabet. ZYX. I can see her. She was fantastic in that movie. I think she's an American. I remember she was also in that movie Suburbia
Mm-hmm.
or Disturbia. I'm sorry, Disturbia. Her name. I hate this. What is like Kate Winslet? That's not right. No. That's gonna bother me. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. You can see her. I'm trying to visualize the cover of the DVD case. Keanu Reeves, Lawrence Fishburne. Oh, man. ZYXWUTS. Give me the initials. I'm sorry, because
KR.
KR. KR?
Yes.
I think it's CR. Carrie?
Let me make double sure that my information is correct.
Okay, it's Carrie. No, KR is Keanu Reeves. You said actress. You had me thinking about the wrong person.
Who starred as Neo, Neo.
Oh, yeah, Keanu Reeves. That's stupid.
And when you're like, I was like,
See, you had me all psyched out. You said I had to read this 3 times as I was like, well, what, I was like, I looked, I couldn't see the forest for the trees. But her name is Carrie. I keep saying Underwood, not Carrie. What is her name? The actress's name. See, I'm trying to make this harder than it is. I'm going to say Carrie Fisher. That's not right either. I'm going to have to look it up. Hold on. I hate that. I hate not being able to. Oh, Carrie Ann Moss, son of a gun. Son of a gun. All right, but I guess I got Keanu Reeves. I guess I got it.
You got who Neo was.
You're sitting there thinking, Ed, what are you doing?
I was
Why do you
like,
think
he was a
someone?
she? Okay, well, that explains some things.
What are you doing? And I love it how you just sat there and let me do that, D.
Well, I was going to interrupt you, but you like, don't tell me who it is. I'm like,
You're
okay.
thinking, well, I'd stop him, but this is too damn entertaining.
Okay, so the next one would
I'd
be
like to see Ed make an idiot of himself. I'm just going to sit back and get comfortable. That's okay.
hey, I even told Shree I was gonna be nicer to you.
That's fine. No. I get on here. I'm more than happy to make an idiot of myself.
What TV show had characters named Zach, Kelly, and Screech?
See, this is another. See, it's so weird you're picking this out because these are once again things that I just know on the periphery because I never watched these. I'm a huge fan of The Matrix. In fact, The Matrix is one of my favorite movies. But like Family Ties, like we've discussed, or Dirty Dancing, just on the periphery. This is, of course, Saved by the Bell. And once again, I remember when it came out. That must have been when I was still in high school. That friends of mine were like, "Oh, we got to watch this. This is so good," and Tiffany Amber Thiessen and all this. And I'm like, guys, I just do not get this. Just it was a little too. I don't know what it was. Like it's like Beverly Hills 90210, same thing. I mean, what am I doing watching that? I grew up in Leechburg, Pennsylvania. So Saved by the Bell.
Yep, Saved by the Bell. Who played Indiana Jones?
Wow, Harrison Ford.
What year did Seinfeld debut?
What? What year
What
did what?
year did Seinfeld?
Seinfeld.
Uh-huh.
1989.
Yep.
I remembered it started right as I was starting college, and that is also something. It's so weird. I could name any Seinfeld episode. I've seen all of them multiple times. I never watched it when it was a new show in the late 80s, early 90s. Never watched an episode until probably the 2000s. And now I can name any episode lines and everything else. It's so weird.
See, I watched off and on Seinfeld, but I really wasn't a big Seinfeld fan.
Well, yeah, I mean, when it was out new, you probably would have been a little young for that. You would thought me being late teens into my 20s, that would have been a perfect show, but I can remember in college people watching it and raving about it, but at that time, I became like a Law and Order guy.
Yeah.
Star Trek: The Next Generation is something
Yeah.
I watched back then. Just some of the things that come to mind. Cheers was still on. I watched that. Plus I was going to college, and we didn't have cable there and everything else, so that probably restricted it as well.
Which actress starred in Pretty Woman?
Julia Roberts.
Mm-hmm.
And what's interesting, being that you just had the Seinfeld question, Jason Alexander's in that movie before he ever did George Costanza.
You're right.
Yeah, he was Richard Gere's friend, and finds out that Julia Roberts is a prostitute, and he's really rude and crude with her and everything.
Mm-hmm. And then he apologizes to her.
Yeah.
Thinking that was going to fix the problem.
No. Yeah, that's a movie that, once again, from my Generation X, it was a movie that young women, teenagers, even though it was about a prostitute and everything else, had to see it. It was just Dirty Dancing. That movie just had to be seen.
Well, my sister worked at Blockbuster, so most of these movies I was forced to watch until I was sick of them.
Ah,
So,
Blockbuster, those were the days.
mm-hmm. What TV show featured the Tanner family and Uncle Jesse?
Uncle Jesse. That was oh yeah. That's with the Olsen twins.
Mm-hmm.
What was that show called? Once again, on the periphery. Never watched it. Had John Stamos and the other actor who got a song written about him by what's her name? Um, from Canada, the singer from Canada. He was. What's the song by? Let's see. It's been a long day. What is her name? What's the singer that did Jagged Little Pill?
Would have
You ought
that been Pink?
song you ought to know.
Would have that been Pink, or would have that have
No,
been
not Pink.
Sling Dion? No.
No, no, no. And I'm here to remind you of the mess you left since you went away. Can't think of her name. But that song, if you don't know this, D, if you're familiar with that show, the song is actually about that one actor in that show that you're asking about that I can't think the name of it. What is the name of it? What's the name of it?
Full House.
Full House. Yeah, the guy, not Uncle Jesse, but the other guy. That is who that song is about. That she did. You ought to
So not
know,
the dad.
huh?
The dad from the show.
I guess, like I said, since I've never
Or the
watched,
other uncle that moved in that wasn't an uncle that moved into the basement.
I don't know. His name is Dave something.
Okay, yeah, so that would have been the dad.
Dave Collier or something like that. And it was so weird that I remember when that song came out, You Ought to Know. And I mean, it's pretty raw and everything. And then you find out that it was actually, she wrote it based on breaking up of a relationship and everything. And it was a big mystery as to, well, who was this guy? We didn't know if he was somebody famous or whoever. And then she finally admitted who the guy was. And everybody's like, really? You wrote that song? You went crazy and nuts and got all possessive and crazy and psychotic and everything over him? Oh my goodness. And everybody was really shocked, because I don't know. And the thing is, I can't think of her name either. I'm just blanking out. Yeah, Alanis Morissette.
Okay.
She did.
It
That was
says
her.
singer from Canada, and I'm like, I can name off like a whole bunch of singers from Canada.
Yeah, Alanis Morissette. She wrote that song about her breakup, and with that guy. And like I said, for a while, nobody knew who she was talking about. You're thinking, well, it must be some, lady killer or something like that. No, it ends up being that guy. And it's very sad because recently he's been diagnosed with cancer. He's been going through chemo and everything. So,
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh,
like I said, D, I'm full.
is that the reason why they took off the spinoff off of Netflix?
I don't know.
Quit doing it.
I don't know.
So, who directed Jurassic Park?
Steven Spielberg.
What movie featured the line "Show me the money"?
Ha! Jerry Maguire. Good movie. I haven't seen that movie for a while. Saw it several times though, like on VHS or DVD or whatever. I think I do have that on DVD. But that's a pretty good movie.
Like I said, my sister forced me to watch movies until I was sick of them.
I went to see that. I went to see that movie in the theater with the woman I was dating at the time. And during that movie, they haven't really linked too much about my personal life. She said something about something that was going on in a certain part in the movie. She said something very rude to me during the movie. And truthfully, it was at that point I said, "Yep, I got to get rid of her."
Oh wow.
That's a true story. True story. She didn't know it, but I at that point I checked out. That's how I run things. Maybe that's why I'm single at 55. We're still friends though, but I don't know. I think I might have just publicly revealed that for the first time. But yeah, I remember that's what I think of when I think of that movie.
Well, how about this one? Who played Tony Soprano?
Oh my gosh, James Gandolfini.
Yep.
Great movie, great show. I could talk about that show for hours. I once in a while when I'm bored, I'll go on YouTube and they have like best scenes or stuff, clips. And I have the whole DVD set except for the last half of the final season. I should get that. And man, it's such a spectacular show. Man, those guys are so bad. They're all such bad people. And I even admitted, I think, some months ago, if you remember, D, that I ran across it, was watching it. And I think I've gotten to the point, maybe it's because of doing Unfound or whatever, and dealing with, of course, people who've gotten away with crimes and everything, is that even though I still love The Sopranos, I am happy that a lot of those guys died, and they paid the price for being horrible and everything else.
No.
Of course, Tony Soprano didn't, not to ruin it for everybody, but all these guys who killed people and raped women and took advantage of people and everything else, I'm so happy that all of them got their comeuppance in that series.
I'll be right back.
Some of the things they did in that show are just unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yeah. See, that's the fun thing. I don't have to leave the room now. I can sit here and still go deal with other things like the child and the adult child.
Mm-hmm.
What TV show had the theme song "I'll Be There for You"?
Friends.
Well, this one I know you aren't going to get, but we're still going to do it. Which actress starred in Clueless?
Alicia Silverstone.
Now, see, I figured you wouldn't get that one.
This is one of those movies. Now, it was later. That was in the 90s. I've seen it once. Didn't quite get it. It's a very popular movie. Certainly put Alicia Silverstone on the map. Of course, she was in those Aerosmith music videos and everything else. But it's a well done movie, and Paul Rudd's in it. But I watched it. I was like, I don't get this. I don't get it. But yeah, Alicia Silverstone, who eventually went on to play Batgirl.
Mm-hmm.
In one of those very, very bad late 90s Batman movies.
Didn't she play another one as well from the Batman series? Or am I thinking of someone else?
Well, there was Batgirl, and of course there was Catwoman, but I'm pretty sure she played Batgirl.
I was thinking Ivy, and I don't know why.
Poison Ivy
was
Uma Thurman.
Yeah.
Uma Thurman played Poison Ivy, and of course, when it comes to Catwoman, Halle Berry, Michelle Pfeiffer. More recently, of course, with the Christian Bale series. It was a British actress who I thought did a fantastic job. Yeah, but I think she was Batgirl in one of those bad movies.
Probably.
I can't even remember which Batman it was, but it was bad.
What year did The Sopranos premiere?
1999.
Nope.
1998?
No, you're right, 1999.
1999. Okay, yeah. Because I remember, I really, even though I didn't watch it at the time because I didn't have HBO, I just remember it really being a phenomenon. And I can remember, I remember to this day, and it's like 26 years ago. Being that I didn't have HBO, but there was all this stuff being, of course, the internet was really new at the time, and people raving about this show, and I'm like, I'm serious. It's honest God truth. Once again, I don't mind making an idiot of myself. I started thinking, why are people getting so crazy over a series about a bunch of singers? Seriously, I'm serious. I'm absolutely 100% serious. The Sopranos this, The Sopranos that. It's going to be the best show in years, and it's going to win all these awards. Why is everybody getting crazy about a show about a bunch of singers? Is that stupid? Is that stupid?
No.
It's true though. And then I was like, oh, it's a movie about mafia. And then I don't even remember when I started watching because, like I said, I didn't have HBO, so must have come on. Maybe I rented it. There was tapes on VHS or something. I don't even know. No.
Well, see, and I think of The Sopranos. My first thought is the movie The Godfather.
Yeah.
Right. That's where my brain goes when I hear that name. The Sopranos. It's like, oh, The Godfather. So that's where my brain goes with it.
Of course.
So we're going to move on to music.
All right.
Who sang Like a Virgin in 1984?
Man, did I roller skate a lot to that song. Madonna. I mean, that song, you were like 4 years old, but that song, as a 14-year-old, I was like, what is this song about? It's not, it certainly has to be something dirty. It certainly has to be something dirty. I can remember that.
Once again,
it's learning about the birds and the bees and all that stuff.
I guess I was indoctrinated very, very early with that type of stuff because I'll never forget my mom was talking. I don't remember who it was. It was one of my aunts, and they were talking about my older sister being a stripper. I didn't have to ask what it was. I knew what it was. And I knew my mother was very unhappy with it. Because whenever my sister was growing up, she had her in dance. Ballet, tap, jazz, all of it. And her aunt one day goes, what if this turns wrong? And she goes, what do you mean by it turning wrong? She goes, what if all this dance when she grows up turns out to be a bad idea? Oh, it did. Yep. My mother so paid for it.
Dee, that's fascinating. It would be very interesting if there was a study done to find out how many strippers actually did have dance classes and things like that. Yeah. I think that would be interesting. Are you more likely women to go into that because you've done that? It'd be interesting to know. Could be.
I mean, it would make sense. They enjoy being on the stage and in the spotlight, so.
Yeah. That was a great time for music, in my opinion. 83, 84, 85, spectacular. So many big time albums came out at that time that sold millions and millions and millions. But, of course, Michael Jackson and Purple Rain and Born in the USA, Van Halen, 1984. And I roller skated to all of them.
But see, you said Gen X, and I'm going, but see, I'm still a Gen Xer because I was born in the 80s. It didn't start
right
until the 80s.
Depends, that depends on, you can see different places. Some say it's like 62 to 78, and then it's like 65 to 80. Yeah. It just depends, but surely 1980 is on the fringe. Just really, really like.
I'm kind of caught in between Gen X and is it Z? Or is it millennials?
Gen Y. I thought.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm smack right dab in the middle of Gen X.
Got the end of Gen X, which was probably the best, and the beginning of the Gen Y year. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Which band released "Smells Like Teen Spirit"?
Oh, Nirvana.
Mm-hmm.
I have another funny story. Once again, I don't care saying these things because this is fun. D, thanks. I remember the first time I heard "Smells Like Teen Spirit." I distinctly I remember it, and because you have to remember, me going into the '80s, late '80s. I was a big Great White fan, Def Leppard fan, Van Halen fan, Whitesnake fan, Kiss fan. Of course, more regular pop music, like we've already talked about, Madonna, Duran Duran, all of that. And I was dating a girl at the time, and well, we were doing things on a couch, and it was a Saturday night, and it must have been Headbangers Ball on MTV or something like that. And that song came on, and I just completely stopped what I was doing. And look, I was like, what is this? What is this? What is this music? I've never heard this. Is like, because it was just like nothing that, was out there. And that was my first experience with "Smells Like Teen Spirit." Whenever that was, it might have even been the first time they ever played it on MTV or something. And I can just remember looking at the TV. I was like, this song is popular. And I got that idea. Things are changing, the hair bands and stuff. I think they're on their way out. And they were, that brought on Alice in Chains and Soundgarden and Pearl Jam and all of that. But yeah, that was, I'll never forget that. It "Smells Like Teen Spirit."
Well, see, once again, when it comes to this type of music, between the older sister and the older brother,
Mm-hmm.
the big hair bands, Kiss, which my sister also toured with Kiss for a little while.
Toured with them?
She was a groupie, and she was on the tour bus for quite some time with them. So,
Fantastic.
I know, there are certain bands and stuff. I'm like, hey, I remember that one. Just like, I can list off all the country singers from back then too, and all the groups and bands from back then.
Yeah.
It just depended on which family member I was hanging out with. If I was with dad, it was country. If I was with mom, it was country. If it was one of the other two older siblings, it wasn't. It was whatever they decided to play.
Okay.
Who is known as the king of pop?
Michael Jackson.
Yes. Which rapper name is Sean Carter?
Jay-Z.
Yep.
99 problems, but a something ain't one.
Yep. I think that something's in my title of my name, you guys.
That's right.
Okay, so who sang Living on a Prayer?
Bon Jovi, once again. This takes me up to later. Of course, I was driving by that time, 1987, Slippery When Wet. 86, I'm sorry, 86, Slippery When Wet. And that was 10th grade for me. That came out. I remember that. Living on a Prayer, You Give Love a Bad Name. Go into this under 21 club down in Lower Borough called Fantasy Rock. And that's what I think of when I think of Bon Jovi's, that song and that whole album.
Well, for me, you know what I think of when I think of John Bon Jovi?
What do you think?
Did you ever watch the movie, The Labyrinth?
What?
The Labyrinth.
Labyrinth?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Wasn't that who starred in that?
No, that was David Bowie.
Oh, okay. I was thinking John Bon Jovi was, but okay, yeah, you're right.
Jovi was had a very, very small part in Young Guns 2.
Yes, that's where I was thinking of.
And then he might have been in a couple other things, but he was not in Labyrinth. D.
Hey, well, I
Sorry.
was thinking two different people.
I'm pretty sure it was let me think.
But I think you're right. I really do.
Labyrinth 1986 film. Yeah, that had David Bowie in it. Yeah.
Okay, would you like to know the last time I watched that movie?
How when?
I probably I was living in Tucson, so it would have been 2013.
I don't think I've ever seen that movie, to be
It was
honest.
one of my little sister's favorites.
Not really the kind of thing that would really. I'm not the biggest David Bowie fan, so that doesn't help either.
But, and then you said, no, that would have been this one. I'm like, okay, now that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
But then I think of Young Guns, because that's the same guy, right?
Right, but he was technically in Young Guns 2, which was technically. Yeah, Emilio Estevez and the rest of them, yeah.
Which band released Wonderwall?
Oasis, not a fan.
I was going to ask who are they because I had never heard of them.
They're a British band, the Gallagher brothers who hate each other. To me, they're absolutely very, very overrated, but there are a lot of people who will die for them. So I don't know. I don't get not my kind of music or pop music or rock or whatever. My music usually needs to have a little more crunch in it.
Who sang "Girls Just Want to Have Fun"?
Cyndi Lauper. I think she just get inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. My brother and his wife have seen her a couple times in concert, said she was excellent. That's just within the last few years. That's another song that came out 83, 84, roller skated to it, and every girl my age in my class was singing it.
What? I thought you didn't like Dr. Pepper.
I'll drink it.
Dr. Pepper?
Yeah.
Nasty.
I agree. I'm a cola fan.
Dr. Pepper is nasty.
My dad always called it prune juice.
To me, it's always tasted like cough syrup.
You want to talk about taste like cough syrup? They have one that has blackberry in it. And that one reminds me of Dimetapp cough syrup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nasty.
Ugh. Okay. Which band released Don't Stop Believing?
Journey. Speaking of The Sopranos. That song is in the final episode.
Well, the BF's mom likes Journey, and I never even had heard of them until she started asking me trying to find her tickets, and I'm like, okay.
Never heard of Journey.
Never heard of Journey.
So when? How recently?
Well, let's see here. Me and Michael have been together now for 3 years. This third time?
So wait a minute. You went from 1980 or whenever you were born until just a few years ago, didn't know who Journey was? So who did you think did Don't Stop Believing, D? You've surely heard that many times over the years.
Probably never heard who sang it. just remember the song. You know what I mean? It was one of those. Heard the
Wow.
song, I just never looked it up.
Wow. Well, they were huge. You were born in 1980. That man, they were just huge, huge. Steve Perry, Neil Sean, the rest of them, they were a huge band. Yeah, that is amazing.
Yeah, well, surprise.
Didn't hear Journey. Born in 1980. Never heard of Journey until 2020 something. All right. Interesting.
2023.
It's crazy.
Who sang My Heart Will Go On?
Celine Dion.
Yes. Which band released? Hang on. Because I might have to spell this word. Oh, no, I won't.
Californication.
Yep, that's the word I'm looking for.
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yes.
Lead singer of who was in the movie Point Break. And being that we were talking about Back to the Future, the bassist for Red Hot Chili Peppers was in Back to the Future Part 2.
Oh?
Yeah.
Interesting.
The other ones too, maybe. Yeah, Flea. He goes by Flea. Forget what his real name is.
Who sang Ironic?
That's Alanis Morissette. That's
Yes, we just talked about her. I was like,
Isn't it ironic? Well, isn't that ironic?
Being that we just
Isn't it ironic, don't you think?
which band released Every Breath You Take?
Police, man. Once again, came out. Synchronicity came out in 1983. Just one that's just crazy, crazy, crazy popular. That album, it's a fantastic album.
Now, would you believe that I had heard of the Police before I ever heard of Journey?
Okay. I don't know. Both of them certainly huge. Both of them in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Both known worldwide. Of course, Journey, an American band. Of course, the Police from England. I'm probably more of a Police fan than Journey fan, to be honest. But yeah, sure.
Like, would you believe that one?
Yeah, Synchronicity is a fantastic album. Every Breath You Take, the first Synchronicity 1, Synchronicity 2, King of Pain. Just so good. It's fantastic.
Who sang Hit Me Baby One More Time?
Britney Spears.
Mm-hmm.
That came out when I listened after I just first moved to Vegas. That was all. Britney Spears became a big thing while I was working at 7-Eleven. I will always equate Britney Spears with my time at 7-Eleven because that time frame is when she like came out of nowhere and did that video in the school and all that.
See, I liked her early on. The person she became was something that
Yeah.
you didn't see coming. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah, she seems to have some issues to this day.
Mm-hmm.
Very
Kind of
sad.
like what's his name's daughter? Miley Ray Cyrus, Billy Ray's daughter.
Yeah, she's getting married.
Oh, is she? She
Yeah.
finally pulled herself out of the slump, huh?
Yeah. Good luck. Good luck, kids. Britney Spears' best song is "Break the Ice." I don't know what album it's on. I don't know when it came out, but I've heard enough of her music to know that "Break the Ice" is her best tune.
Okay, which band released Entered Sandman? Enter
Metallica.
Sandman. Yeah.
All right. Once again, I remember when that came out. Still not the biggest Metallica fan, to be honest. But I remember that coming out. Once again, that album just, just it was everywhere. I was in college, and every room that you would in my dorm that you would walk by, guys were playing it.
Oh.
Yeah, the Black Album. Yeah.
Ah. See, my older brother did a lot of cover music that was Metallica back in 2014 to 2018. No, 17, which is part of the reason why I came back to Oklahoma. His other sister, not related, but his other sister, my dad, his mom before my dad and mom got together. Anyway, his husband was dying of cancer, and I was like, there's got to be something we can do to slow it down. Let me get home. Which I didn't get here until I think he passed in December. I got back to Oklahoma finally in February. So
Yeah.
I made it home a little bit late.
The thing about the Black Album with Metallica is a lot of hardcore people will say that was the big, even though that's still the most popular album they ever did from a public standpoint, the hardcore people, fans of Metallica from the early 80s will say that was the beginning of the end of the band. Even though they're still together and done a lot of music and everything, that was like a little too light for them. For them, the best run of albums that Metallica did ended with "And Justice for All." Very interesting. I'm more of a Megadeth fan with Dave Mustaine than I am Metallica. So,
Okay.
couple more questions, and we're gonna call it a night. D.
Who sang "Rolling in the Deep"?
Adele.
Yep.
And she did a spectacular, one of the best James Bond songs, Skyfall. Great tune.
Okay. Who sang the song Thriller?
Thriller?
It's the first one that popped up.
Michael Jackson. Once again, I remember that. The whole dance and all that.
Mm-hmm.
In the red leather jacket. Crazy.
I remember it on MTV. So
good times. Good times. Perfect age for all that. 12, 13 years old, 14 years old. Perfect time. Fantastic. Well, this has been a little different turn that we took tonight, D.
Well, I figured that, every once in a while, a different,
Okay.
direction might be good. Especially with, people who get depressed during the winter months.
Yeah. And I think I did show I know more general trivia than I do true crime trivia. I think I played that tonight as I knew I would, and I've said that before. That I'm a better general trivia guy than true crime trivia guy. Of course, true crime covers a lot of different topics and everything.
Well, that's why I kind of try to stick to the missing part of it when it comes to doing the trivia, is because me and you mostly know the missing part of it. Which I told you prior that they did a raid on a house on the Summer Wells case. Hello?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, people are now speculating that they wouldn't have told Dawn and Candace if they didn't find something.
Huh.
I'm like, yeah, well, they would have came out and said, hey, we found your child.
Right. Of course.
I would have been probably one of the first ones that would have heard about it, because I probably would have got a phone call and wouldn't be able to hear through the sobbing. You know what I mean? Which
right.
I'm dreading that day. And we're just going to leave that there.
Right. So it doesn't seem they found anything. then?
I don't know. They said something about that they had hauled out loads of dirt. Well, with that being said, there was a pig farm back in 2021 there.
Here we go with the pig farms again.
Mm-hmm. But then you look at the maps, which I have copies of the maps somewhere. But if you look at the maps and stuff, where they found the footprints and where they lost. So I always thought if they lost the scent, it meant someone picked her up. That was what I thought in my own brain. Now I'm hearing it could have been she doubled back on herself, which we're also talking about the dogs, scent tracking dogs, that she either backtracked on herself, or because of the road being asphalt or cement, maybe the scent didn't stick like it would,
These dog handlers got all the excuses in the world.
Well, I watch Michelle Walks.
They must sit up at like 3 a.m. and come up with this stuff.
Well, she's from England and she has dogs that are search dogs. And she made the remark, it's kind of funny to watch her dogs search for, like, they see a cat, they get to smell the cat, they chase the cat, right? And what happens if that cat jumps up on a wall? There went that scent. So it led me to more questions than answers. And
this doesn't sound like it's getting solved anytime soon.
No.
Despite the state police and the tree trimming thing and all that stuff, it just doesn't sound like it.
Well, there's rumors that one of the tree trimmers was one of the Hills that owned the land. Like the old man, it's his son. And I'm like, oh my God, here we go. I knew we were going somewhere here. As a matter of fact, I had a lady from England reach out to me yesterday to tell me her story. And I'm like, okay, okay, I'll take that into consideration. Not, you're a crazy kook. Please leave me alone.
It's me.
Well, Sunday we had someone come up and tell us that they were psychic and they knew where Summer was at. And we were like, where is she then? And, well, you got it. And I'm like, no, we don't. No, we don't got to do nothing.
No. All right, D, well, I'm going to go. All right.
You have a good one.
All right. It's been a cool time tonight, D. You have a nice night. Good talking to you.
Oh, remember next Thursday's the birth date. So.
Okay. Oh, is that right? Okay. All right. Good night.
See you later.
Later.